I just finished up my 5 a.m. cardio, and the sun's starting to come up a little bit. I was in there for a long time just getting everything out. I was doing the treadmill today. I did the Stairmaster last night before training legs, so I just decided to do the treadmill today. I ran, and I did it with no AirPods this time. I just got some new AirPods, and I had my Beats before, but you know, the AirPods sound way better. But sometimes I like to take that break because we're so used to music and like entertainment in our ears and stuff. They're like, we don't realize how much of a dopamine spike it is to have that constant stimulation, that constant entertainment. And you know, doing cardio with no music sucks, but it allows me to really process my thoughts and think a little bit more clearly and not focus on just what's being input into my brain, but really to create and develop the ideas and the things that I want to talk about. So I was thinking about last night, and it was a big feeling of procrastination. And procrastination and overthinking go hand in hand, you know, because the reason you procrastinate is because you don't want to do something, and then you start thinking about all the different scenarios and like the reasons why you should or shouldn't do something, and then you just stick in one spot. And I was watching the fight last night briefly for a moment. I live in the apartment complex, and one of my close homies, who's also a business owner, I went up to his crib to get something from him. And so I'm watching the fight for a second, and I'm thinking, like, it's 11:53 at night. I've got to be up at 4:25. I know this. It's not a battle anymore. Like, it's not. I don't wake up at 4:25 and record it to like act like it's some crazy accomplishment or some shit. It's just normal for me. Half of you guys out here acting like it's not normal to push yourself. You're stressing your body. Why are you putting yourself through that? It's unhealthy. I haven't seen one of you guys look actually fucking ripped, be in good shape, or be a rare motherfucker talking about, oh, why do you wake up early? You'll never ever see somebody that's balling. And I don't just mean like balling in a status of like some pimp type shit. I mean like rare motherfucker that works hard, that gets his shit done, that stands out. You'll never ever see somebody like that being like, well, you need full 8 hours, or if you stress your body sometimes, you're not going to be successful. That's bullshit. Completely. Get that ideology out of your head. And so I'm sitting there watching the fight, and I started to notice this feeling that felt very familiar. And it reminded me of myself, my past self, who I was, because I wanted to watch the fight. Like, it was like the second card. It wasn't even the Strickland fight. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, you gotta wake up. You have shit to do. I'd only been there for a couple minutes. And it's just like, you gotta go home. Like, and I wanted to spend some time, like, with my dudes. My boy Jared was there, my boy Jagger was there. They're two successful business owners that, they're like my boys, the only people I spend time with, because they're on the same path as me, right? And even though I wanted to sit there and spend some time with them and watch that fight, it's like, I have shit to do. But that feeling of procrastination came up. It started thinking about all the different ways that I could manipulate what I was doing to be able to stay there longer. That salesman in my head that I always talk about came back up. The same one that tries to get you to stay in bed. The same one that tries to get you to leave the gym early. The same one that tells you that you don't have to hit your macros for the day. The same one that tells you that you can go watch that bullshit on the internet. The same one that tells you that you don't have to wake up and conquer and work towards your goals, that it's okay to sleep in. And completely different scenario, but I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I got to talk to my boys about this in the morning, because I struggled with this for so long. Obviously, since I've conquered it, a couple minutes go by and I'm like, all right, I gotta go home. I could have just stayed up longer. It wasn't gonna make me miss my wake up. I'll never miss that shit. I will never miss my wake up. But I know that every hour that I give to that just sitting there and not producing, is an hour that I'm taking away, is time that I'm taking away from bettering myself for you guys and holding myself accountable for you guys. So I'm not saying you can't enjoy life, but in the circumstances, I had shit to do. I had no business sitting there watching that MMA fight for a couple minutes. So, you know, boom, I got over the hump in my head because I've conquered it. It becomes, as soon as I feel that wall, I break it down. As soon as I feel that wall, I break it down. That wall of procrastination, that wall of overthinking. But it destroyed me for so long. It destroyed me for so long because I struggled with imperfect action. I wanted everything to be perfect. I would sit there and I would dream and I would plan and I would structure and I would get hyped up, and then I would kind of start acting on it, and then I'd be like, oh, this isn't right. I need to go back to the drawing board, and then I would plan, and I never made progress because all I did was procrastinate and overthink. And I would sit there and be like, why can't I move forward? Why can't I move forward? It was because I was looking for the perfect layout, the perfect path, the perfect road to walk to get to where I wanted to go. You will not find it. You will not find the perfect path. There is no perfect day. There is no perfect set of circumstances. There is no perfect time greater than the present second right now. Because every second that you put off is a second that you are telling the universe, you don't care. You don't need to make progress. It does not matter. You're willing to waste more and more time going down this path of despair, of endless scrolling, mindless pleasures. Oh, I'll start tracking my macros once I get my dream physique. What the fuck, bro? Are you dead ass? Well, I don't need to hit my protein. I'll keep going, and eventually, what the fuck, bro? The reason you're not making results is because you're trying to see how easy can I make it and still get results. And you wonder why you feel like a soft little bitch everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, you feel like people can see the inside of you. Oh, people are judging me. No, they're not. You're judging your fucking self and you're projecting it. You're judging yourself because you don't hold yourself accountable to anything. You're judging yourself because you don't push yourself past your limits in any endeavor. Because you've been sold the lie that it's okay to take a little break. I don't feel great today, so I'm going to take a rest. I know some motherfuckers like that. I don't want to push my body, bro. I don't want to push my body. I'm thinking of a motherfucker right now. He literally sounds like that. I don't want to say his name because I would feel bad just because he just years and years, but he's a fucking grown man. That's what he sounds like. That's what he tells himself. And he's like, I really think it's my year. And I'm like, really? How? What do you think? It's your year for what? You're going to change this time? Are you going to? And I ask him that. What have you, what plans have you put in place to change this time? Well, I'm definitely I'm going to start, I'm just going to start doing things different. Okay. We'll see the exact same motherfucker 8 years down the road because you won't make a fucking plan and stick to it. The only way to develop a perfect plan is to develop an imperfect plan and perfect it. If you guys see the whole entire page, I think, I decided I'm going to do a video on this today. I'm going to go home and do a video on this today. If you guys see the plan, the structure that I wrote down the very first day that I started this journey, when I was absolutely sick of my complacency and the bitch inside of me, and I wrote down every single thing that I was going to do. I was like, I'm gonna say 5 kind words to every single person that I meet, and I'm gonna only have sugar on the weekends. And it was like 2 pages long. unrealistic, but I sat there and I got it all out of my brain. Everything that I needed to do to become successful and everything that I needed to cut out to become successful. And previously, I'd struggled so much because I would be like, oh, no, this isn't good. This is too long. This is too short. I need to do more things. That is the process. That is the development process. It's self-development. It's personal development because it develops over time. It takes time investment and effort investment, extreme effort investment, emotional investment, sacrificial investment. It hurts. It sucks. But everything that is easy will not be great. And everything that is great will not be easy. You guys got to stop looking for the easy way out. Stop thinking, how late can I set my alarm, but it still be kind of early? How much can I train that's still going to get me results, but it's not going to be that hard? How much work can I put into my business that's going to maybe make me some money, but it's not going to be like I'm working 80 hours a week or my job? Bro, how you do anything is how you do everything. When I used to work at Jersey Mike's fucking Subs, I would get yelled at all the time by my manager because he'd be like, what are you doing? You're taking like an extra 5 seconds. Everything was perfect because I decided that everything I did was going to be perfect. Every time I fold my towels, it's like I have extreme robotic OCD. Because everything, I know that if I create something and it is not set to my standard, other things will start to crumble. Everything that I do must be to the highest standard. There's only one way to do this, and it is to go all in. You have to go all in on your process. I developed the 5-4-5 method from that structure, that routine that I created. Everyone's been asking me, how, it's just so hard to make progress, to stop procrastinating. The best thing for you to do is implement the 5-4-5 method. This is what it is. This is some game. So 5 goals, right? 4-step routine, and then 5 tasks. This is the base. This is exactly how you get started, all right? It starts the night before. But first, you have to create 5 goals before you start any of this. 5 definite goals that you want to achieve, because that is going to define the things that you do, the morning routine that you do, and the tasks that you do. So 5 goals that will be a life that you want to live in, and that will be some things that you want to achieve. They can be extremely far-fetched. The bigger your goals, the greater your engine is going to be that's going to get you through the shitty times. If you want to live in a mansion, that's cool. But in the scheme of things, that's an insanely materialistic goal, and it's very superficial. So when it's 4 a.m. in the morning and your alarm's going off and you think in your head, I gotta get up because I want a mansion, that'll work sometimes, but most of the time you're gonna be like, oh, fuck it. You're gonna go back to sleep. The bigger your goals are, the more driving force you have to get you through those sticking points. 5 goals, right? Of those 5 goals, create a 4-step morning routine that will put you in the mindset, set you up, put you in the flow state to work towards that. And this starts the night before. I have my 5 goals on my whiteboard. I've got 15 or 20 goals. But start at 5, 4, 5. Do this exactly, and obviously it can grow and get better as you learn. The night before, I write out my 4-step morning routine. Mine's 6 steps now, but it used to be 4. And I write the date. I do this the night before, so I'm consciously thinking about the structure of my next day, consciously thinking before I go into dream state exactly what I'm going to do, so that as soon as I wake up, it's robotic. I don't drift. I don't get out of bed wondering what dopamine hit I'm going to do, wondering where my fucking vape is. I don't do that bullshit. 5 goals, they're always in my head. I know what I'm working towards. Boom. So I write out. So today's the 21st of January. Last night I wrote January 20th. And then I write my morning routine. This is mine. You can copy it if you want. I'd recommend creating your own. Make my bed. 32 ounces of water. Journal. I just write it. I write a page in my notebook. Then I post my morning push-up video at like 4:45 because it usually takes me about that long to do those few things. So you see that on my Instagram every single day. My morning push-up video, come back inside, freezing cold shower, and then I start my get shit done list. My get shit done list is all of my tasks. I have them written out. I have like 20 each day because I have my business, my YouTube, everything that I have to do. I've got clients that I've got to manage. I've got resources I have to upload to my mastermind. All of those things on my plate. So I want to make sure I'm doing it in the order of most important to least important, right? And I will have to make sure I stay structured, because if we go through the day just trying to use our head as a filing cabinet, you're not going to accomplish anything. You're going to just be jumping from here to here. You're going to have squirrel syndrome. You're just going to go from one thing to the next. You're going to feel overwhelmed, and then you're going to revert back to TikTok and scroll because it's more comfortable. You have to have a structure. You have to have a process. I don't care what I wake up. The morning push-ups, my cold shower, and my journal, they put me into the state that I need to be in to deliver the energy and the impact that I need into other people. I want to minimize the amount of time between when I wake up and when I get started on my work. Your work could be, right now in the season that you're in, your work could be specifically your mind. Your work could be specifically your body. Your work could specifically be a business or your job or your schooling. Whatever you have to focus on, but it should be mindset, habits, nutrition, and training. Your training should be in the gym and the work that you're doing. Your mindset is the work that you're doing, the routine that you stick to, the positive thoughts, the positive high frequency wavelength that you stay on during the day. Your habits, that's your routine. The fact that you do go to the gym, the fact that you work on yourself through grueling tasks that improve your mindset. You see that everything is interlinked. Everything is interlinked, right? And when you implement that 5-4-5 method, you're going to start to realize, okay, this is pointless. Going on a 30-minute grounding walk like I wrote the first time, that takes up way too much time and it's not necessary for me. Cross that off. But you know what is necessary for me? I really, really like to, go downstairs and walk on my treadmill for 15 minutes. Or I like to go run to my park and back. Like, whatever you see benefits from, you add it because it's your process. You are creating the man that you know you can become. But don't go fucking easy on yourself. Don't make something that you're like, that's doable. Make it hard. Give yourself a challenge, because every morning, every single morning, while you guys are sleeping 3-4 hours before you've even woke up, I've already ate like 4 wins, and I'm deep in working on my business, putting out content for you guys, and creating, leveling up in the world. How much progress do you think you would make if every single day you had a process? I know what time I'm going to the gym. I know how much protein, how much carbs I've had, so I can manipulate my carbs exactly so that by the time I go to the gym, I've already had at least half of my day's worth of carbs, so I get a really good pump. There's plenty of glycogen in my muscle, so I have the energy and the strength that I need to train for a long enough period of time to stimulate muscle growth and train hard enough to stimulate muscle growth. Everything is a structure. Everything is a structure. I'm eating a simple sugar right when I get out of the gym. Simple glucose, spike my insulin levels, ramp up my recovery rate right after I train. See, all of these things that you guys could be researching or learning from someone to implement. You have to have a process. No longer sit there and try to develop something that's perfect. Either be willing to invest in someone who's done it to help you and guide you, or be willing to do it your fucking self and take the years that it takes to get there. But it takes emotional sacrifice, physical sacrifice. It takes effort. Even if you work with a coach, it takes the investment, the emotional investment of actually paying for it. That opts you in, and now you feel like, I have to do this. That's the whole system right there. You have to emotionally invest so that you're telling yourself there is no other option. I have to make the most out of this. And then you have to put in the effort. But once you develop that process, it's so sweet. Like genuinely sweet, as in like amazing. It's amazing because every single problem that you have, you know exactly what to do to triumph over that problem. I know exactly what to do. I don't care who just called me on the phone, what news they just told me. I don't care if I just got in a car wreck. I don't care what just happened in the world, what I just heard, saw on social media. I have a process that has proven time after time to elevate me above every single problem that I could encounter. And that is what I teach. That is what I show people how to do, and it is truly life-changing. How are you supposed to make progress if, number one, you're way overthinking and procrastinating everything that you do, and number two, as soon as you do start to make some progress, you make one mistake because the universe is testing you. It's saying, hey, all these things that you're learning, have you learned it? And then, boom, the test hits you. Instead of thinking, why is this, instead of thinking, this is happening for me, you're like, why is this happening to me? Then you go negative. And this is right here. This is where it counts. As soon as you get negative, because we can't help that. We can always think. Our very first instinct as humans is to be like, damn, why is this happening to me? But once you've learned how to be like, as soon as you identify that, I sit there and I'm like, this is happening for me. What am I about to learn from this? What's going to come out of this? I get excited. Because almost every time something really fucking bad happens, as long as I transmute the problem, I elevate above it, I benefit from it. Boom, right then. Something better happens. It's literally like an equation. Problem plus the action that you take based on that problem equals either you get worse, you get shittier, you stay on the path that you're on, or you receive something and you level up. So the quicker that you can start to learn that everything that's happening in your life is building blocks for you to level up. Opportunity comes to those who have built themselves into the man that are able to see it. You have to become the man that is able to see it. Because otherwise you're just going to look at it as a problem instead of a gateway. It is literally a gateway. My first business that I had run for a long time failed. What is it? A gateway into something so much better. My coaching business, where I'm actually changing lives, and I love it so much more than some stupid ass product that I didn't even enjoy. But in the moment, I was just like, why is this happening to me? I was walking along the beach. It was like 2 a.m. I was still doing my morning wake up, and I thought to myself, I was in Florida, and it was just, I was going into so much debt. It was fucking awful. But I knew physical exercise. So I was walking on the beach. I was running, and you know, all the gyms were closed, but I just knew I had to get some exercise. I was doing push-ups. I was out there. I was staring at the sky, and I'm like, what is going on? And I just felt my heart, and I was like, the depth of my struggle determines the height of my success. Every single time that I'm sent low, my actions will determine if I'm going to continue to go lower or if I'm going to skyrocket even higher than I was before. And look at what happened. What a blessing that came out of it. Every single day I go through trials and tribulations. Even the small things. You guys need to look for the wins in the small things. Damn, I left my headphones at home. Maybe there's an opportunity for me to think. Okay? Everything is as you are. The world is not as it is as you are. If you left your headphones at home, that's not the world is out to get you. Because you have control. You're allowed to be like, no. The world is not out to get me. The internal me, the higher state of me knew that I needed to just sit there with my thoughts today. And that is why I left my headphones. If something happens to you, analyze. Even if it's, I'm just using this because I'm in the car and so I'm thinking about, if you get in a car wreck, what is this saving me from? Is there something worse that could have happened to me? Okay, I got in a car wreck and like now I have to pay a bill and I got to pay my insurance and fix the car. But maybe if I wouldn't have gotten in this wreck, I could have gotten in another wreck and I would have died. Or maybe this is going to allow me to analyze what I've been doing and how I've been living. Was I on my phone, speeding and looking at my phone? Okay, I need to be a little more careful. And maybe that's going to translate something in your relationship, something in the gym. Maybe an injury was coming up, and now that you're conscious of, okay, maybe I'm being a little reckless, you're able to avoid that. Every single thing is an opportunity for you to get better. But you can't even drop your ego enough to learn from the universe, let alone from others. Let alone from others. You guys want to have your preconceived your preconceived ideas and let no one change it. I'm right. Okay, stay right, you fat bitch. You're right, but you fucking cry every single night after you jerk off and eat like shit all day long. You watch TikTok and you're like, why is everyone doing better than me? Why is everyone doing better than me? Because they're not fucking scrolling like an imbecile like you. They're creating. They have a plan. They have a process. You are being trapped simply because you do not have a process. Every time this game tries to give you another opportunity, you fuck it up because you have not developed a process that allows you to transcend. Strength is sent to you by your future self in the form of desire. When you have a low frequency desire, the frequency to eat really shitty food when you know you shouldn't, frequency to go watch porn, the frequency to go smoke, do drugs, stay up late doing who the fuck knows what, play video games for no reason when you know you haven't gone to the gym today, or you haven't tracked your macros or done your cardio or made any progress towards the man that you want to become. The desire comes when you rise above that desire. This loops all the way back to my UFC point. It's a stupid example, but it's so true because it works in the small things and it works in the big things as well. Once you have created the man with the process, you become undeniable. You become your 10.0 self. I would like to sit here and watch this UFC fight, but I know that every second that I sit here, I'm neglecting my process, the fact that I need to go home, write out my morning process for tomorrow, write out my task list, and then read, and then go to sleep so I could wake up in the morning, do cardio, and make a video. As soon as you have that desire to sit there, and you're like, you know what? You make yourself get up, you just got stronger. Literally, you just got stronger. You will feel it in your soul. But as soon as you're like, you give into the excuses, you physically get weaker. That is why you feel like shit and have no confidence. Genuinely. That is why it radiates from you. We can all tell that you're a bitch when you walk around. The way you like hang your shoulders and like your little gyno sticks through your fucking shirt. Trust me. It's because of your process. It's not because you were just condemned and you just got all the wrong circumstances. No, you have not built the motherfucker that gets to walk around with confidence. That gets to walk around like he runs shit. It's not a cockiness. It is a certainty. Boys are confident. Little boys they're like, yeah, fuck yeah, with nothing to back it up. Men are certain. Certain. It's a certainty. You know that you have put in the effort. You know that you have made the sacrifice. So you are able to walk around like that motherfucker. Every single day I wake up at 4:25. I am building strength. That's the beauty in it, is you build strength every single day. It doesn't matter if because waking up at 4:25 never gets easier. It always still sucks. So I get stronger every single day that I do it continuously. It's like infinite strength glitch. Right? But as soon as you give into that desire, you can break all the strength that you've built up with one decision. You're building up all the tension, you break it with one decision. Stop procrastinating. Develop a plan and take action. That's the biggest thing. You have to take action. Do what is required. Not what you think you have to do. Do what is required. Every single day. You have to want this shit as badly as you want to breathe. But if you give it 110% effort, it will be impossible for you to fail. There has never been someone who has given something every single molecule of their being and not achieved it. Anything that you put your mind to, you could achieve. But if you're lost, if you need a guide, you need a process, you need a tribe, you need a brotherhood. And if you don't have that, find one. Find one. It's like what I've created with Aggression Fitness and with my mastermind on school. It was going to be on Discord, but I've done it in school so you guys could interact. It's a community. We're all killing our push-ups every single day. I have people in there that are VIPs, like my elite coaching clients. Once it opens before February 1st, all of you guys are going to be able to join. But we're competing. We have leaderboards. Who's on their push-ups? Obviously, me. I'm winning that shit because I don't miss. But I want you guys competing. We're sending our pumps. We're talking about macros. I have every single training program I've ever created, every single resource for nutrition, fast food cheat sheets, high protein meals with barcodes that scan into MyFitnessPal. I've packed everything into this mastermind so that it is impossible. You guys have every single resource you could ever need to level up. All of my journals, my notes. I literally have journals, pages and pages where I have tears in the pages of me crying because this has been the hardest thing that I've ever done. But I have pushed and I have developed the man who is capable of accomplishing anything that he puts his mind to. And I want you guys to be able to develop that man within yourself because you have what it takes. The fact that you've watched to the end of this video shows me that you have what it takes. The fact that you clicked on this video because you were able to humble yourself and realize, damn, I do overthink. I need to listen. I need to listen. And I hope you took motherfucking notes. Or I hope you listen to this over and over again and you engrave it in your brain. But please don't listen to this. Please don't continue listening to these if you're not doing anything about it. Please. You have to have a process. You have to have people holding you accountable, and you have to be a part of something greater and working towards something greater. If you implement those things, couple them with your mindset, habits, nutrition, and training. Your mindset is the foundation. It is the cornerstone, and everything is built off of that. You will become the 10.0 version of yourself. You will become the unstoppable man. Stop listening to this personal development trend that's going around. This is not a trend. This is a lifestyle. Waking up at 4:25, this is not a thing that I've done for 2 weeks. This is a thing that I've done for hundreds of days on end without missing once. I don't care what time I went to bed. I don't care if I got 3 hours of sleep. I don't care if I wasn't going to be able to, I had to work 16-hour manual labor job the next morning. I still did it. I still did it. And since I've become that man that is able to teach because I've fully mastered myself in that aspect, I'm able to live it every single day and enjoy the fact that I get to push myself harder than anyone else wants to push themselves. And my mindset goes negative. I've mastered action, but all of us will struggle with energy and thought mastery for the rest of our lives. No one has mastered that, but you have to master the action to even try to master the energy and thought. That's the ascension for the rest of your life. You control your thoughts. And the better of a life that you live, the more congruent with your actions and the man that you're supposed to become, the more congruent with that you live, the better your thoughts will be. But other people's energy will always be able to sway yours, no matter what. But the more you develop yourself, the less other people will be able to change the way that you feel and the way that you act. Life will always throw circumstances at you. That is inevitable, and you can't change that. But once you've created a man that knows how to change the circumstances in his favor, because he has mastered himself instead of the world mastering him, it's a whole new life. A whole new life. And you're missing out on the joy of waking up, looking at the sky at 4 a.m. and saying, how blessed am I that I get to conquer another day. I get to breathe. I get to breathe. I get to work and mold myself every day. I have the pleasure of pushing myself and experiencing all the things that life has to offer, because I'm not trapped in a fake world inside of my device. I'm not trapped in fake ideologies and social truths that society has built around me, because I have built the man that knows what he wants and will get that shit by any means. And once you've developed that man and you spread it to others, the world is going to be a different place. Once we have infected so many young minds with the truth of putting yourself through momentary discomfort for the gain of discipline. Because everything comes down to discipline. And when you've mastered discipline, life is beautiful. Because in sacrifice is actually paradise. How many times have you felt so low and so empty when you're sitting on the couch in a warm house, all your needs taken care of, you've got food, shelter, everything, entertainment in front of you, endless, and you just felt so fucking empty? I'll tell you right now, I've never felt empty in the cold shower. I've never felt empty outside doing my morning push-ups at 4 a.m. Not once. It doesn't exist, because you're investing in yourself. And your soul knows this is the greatest thing that I could be doing right now. Instead of wasting my precious life away, I'm building. That's what you should be working towards every single day. Building the greatest version of you. Develop your physique into the best it can be. Develop your mindset into the best it can be. Track your nutrition so that your physique and your mindset stay at an optimal, high frequency level. And so that you have another thing that keeps you in check every single day and keeps you from going off the deep end and derailing. And keep every single one of them implemented every single day until it becomes a habit you cannot live without. And once you have done that, you continue to grow, you continue to learn, and you continue to inspire and impact others. That's what it's all about. I love every single one of you guys. In a world full of pussies, stay aggressive.